glad you joined me again. I came to China in 2017 and we are in 2020. Okay, so that's about 3 years, I think. Actually, I came here as a student. So I came here with a student visa to study in a Chinese university. So I came here to do my MBA, which lasted for 2 years. When you come with a student visa, the process is different from you coming with a business visa or coming with any other visa. So I came here to study. That was the initial aim, and my plan was to just study and go back home, get a job, and the usual thing, or even if I didn't go back home, my plan was to travel somewhere else to continue my education. But unfortunately that didn't happen because plans do change sometimes. God has other plans for you. Okay, when I came here, I lived in Shandong province and my school was in Qingdao. Okay, so like I mentioned earlier, I came here to do an MBA, international MBA. Okay, and the education system here is a bit different from other places, from Ghana, from Europe, from the America. I haven't schooled in America or UK, but I definitely have done my research. Okay, so the system here is different. Okay, and the difference between education here as an international student and in other countries is that the main language of communication isn't English, it's Chinese. Okay, but most master's courses and PhD courses are taught by professors who can speak English. If I say professors who can speak English, it is relative because speaking English means here in China you can say a few words and you can understand English. Okay, there's academic English, there's business English, so the English they knew was limited. Okay, so you would ask them questions, and because you're using academic English, they might not fully grasp what you're saying and they might not answer your questions as you want. So that's one challenge in studying here. The language barrier is very worrying. Okay, two is that you've I'm sure a lot of people have heard the government is very, very prominent in China. It's not as lawless as other countries, and the laws here are very strict on foreigners, on students, on businessmen, on workers. Expats are going through a tough time in China. Okay, so even in my school, if you need to travel, you need to inform the school. There were strict rules and all that, and there are a lot of things that you couldn't go ahead and just do it because you had a visa or anything. If anything silly happens, they can just cancel your visa. There are cases where people got pregnant and the school revoked their visa and all that. So in my dorm, you were not allowed to bring in a visitor to sleep over. Okay, so if we did it anyways, but if you were caught, it has consequences. Maybe they'll warn you the first time, the next time you are probably out. So there are a lot of things that were very strict in school, but overall I think it was a good experience. You meet, just like any traveling outside for schooling, you meet people from different countries. You have different conversations, you make new friends, and you make friends across the globe, which was very important. So a lot of people from outside. And one advantage of the school that I went to is that there were quite a number of foreigners, and all the foreigners were not from I've heard stories in other schools where all the blacks move together and the Asians move together, and people are just segregated. But in my school, like, they brought some kind of culture where, like, every time there's a party, everybody's there. So we mingled a lot. It doesn't matter where the person is coming from, Middle East, Asia, um, Eurasia, Europeans, like everybody mingled together. Like for the most part, obviously there were people who didn't really mingle, but when it comes to the party, party there, there. When it comes to the party, everybody was there. Those people didn't even want to mingle with certain people. When it came to the party, everybody was there. And so it's up to you to, have a chat with people so that you can mingle and make friends and all that. So for the most part, it was fun. But the annoying thing is that I come back to the rules. Sometimes when you party and you want to party into the night, then this, and because my school was a new school, we didn't have as much. It's not a new school, but it was like a new campus. Okay, so we didn't have as much international students as we're supposed to have to own one hostel to ourselves. So we shared the hostel with Chinese people. So foreigners were, on the ground floor, and the Chinese people were on the upper floors, from second floor going. And then when we want to party all the way throughout the night, the Chinese people sleep early. Let me just mention this. Like at 9, at 8, people are asleep like chickens, and they would report us that, oh, the international students are making noise, and then we got a warning, we cannot play music past this time. Like, it was worrying, but international students, most of them didn't care. Some of them will party, will still party, especially the Africans, the Congolese people. Still wind our ways till 11 a.m. Okay, so that was the good part about it. Let me come to the, writing a thesis and defending a thesis. This is not something I've noticed alone. If you're prepared to come to China to study, you should be prepared to be your own supervisor, okay? Most supervisors are not helpful. It's basically you writing the paper, you reviewing the paper yourself. It's crazy. In Ghana, you go to your supervisor's office, you literally discuss your paper. Your supervisor tells you, do this, these are some of the things you can do to improve your paper. And in China, it's not like that. Your supervisor is like, oh, send it to me, I'll read. Just read, and they'll tell you, oh, this part, change this part. They won't tell you what. They're not giving you any substantive input. They're just telling you, I don't like this part, I don't like this part. Some of them don't even look at it, and if you say you wait for them, you will never finish. And at the end, there will be the same people at your hearing to say that, oh, you didn't do this for, you didn't do that for. My paper, my supervisor didn't even see the paper like this. I sent it to him. I don't know whether he read, he didn't read. In the end, I just went to present. Thank God he was not there. And they had a few things about it. They were like, oh, your paper is too vague, you could have just, But if my supervisor had looked at it and, discussed the paper with me, it probably wouldn't have ended like that. But anyway, I passed, okay? So that is one thing you have to look at. I think the Chinese government is just, collecting people's brains and putting them in archives so that it reflects good on China. They don't really care about the foreigner. They only care about what the benefits it brings to China, okay? So that is one thing you should look at. Okay, so after graduation, you're supposed to move out. Unlike other countries, like Europe, in the UK, it's recently that UK brought a law that when you study in the UK, you can stay in the UK to work for, I think, 1 year or 2 years. I'm not sure. I would cross-check that. In China, when your time is up, your school won't ask you, have you bought your ticket? Have you bought what? They don't care. All they care is that you have to leave the school dormitory. They don't care where you are going. They don't care where your next destination is. All they care about is that you leave. That is one good thing about China. And one thing I've noticed is that I found that because I wanted to stay because I wanted to work, but throughout my process, I found out that actually Chinese schools and Chinese government want to help people to stay so that it will reflect good on their institutions, saying that, oh, so and so percentage of foreigners who studied in China stayed back to work. They're trying to build some kind of, let me say, portfolio. Do you understand? So, but most people don't know this, so people just pack their bags and leave. And the reason why it works anyway, because in your mind you are thinking that, oh, if they are not checking whether people are leaving, then it means people are staying. My dear, you cannot stay illegally. Everybody knows that staying in China illegally is very risky. As they barb you, they would charge you for the overstay, like 10,000 RMB, 15,000 RMB, which is almost like $2,000. Okay, and if they barb you as they are charging you, that's how you are even buying ticket. They'll keep you in cells until your family buys tickets for you. It's not like they're letting you go until your family buys tickets for you and they'll take you to the airport, and that's how you just leave. You understand? So it's very risky that you overstay. So a lot of people don't even risk it. They just buy their tickets and they go, whether the school is asking them or the school is not asking them. You buy a ticket and you go. Because I wanted to stay, I stayed. And now you're probably asking, what do you do? What do you do in China? Are there jobs? Sincerely,